For centuries, whispers have echoed through the dense, sprawling wilderness of southern New Jersey, whispers of a creature so bizarre, so terrifying, that it has become legend. They call it the Jersey Devil, a chimera of nightmares said to stalk the shadows of the Pine Barrens, a land as untamed and mysterious as the beast itself. But is the Jersey Devil merely a tall tale, a fireside spook story passed down through generations? Or could there be something more to the legend, something real lurking in the fringes of our understanding? Imagine a creature of grotesque anatomy. Descriptions vary, yet common threads weave through the accounts. A horse-like head, or perhaps a goat's. Leathery wings like a bat's, casting monstrous shadows against the moon. Clawed hands, hooves instead of feet, and a serpentine tail that whips and coils with unnatural agility. Some say it roars like thunder, others that it screams like a woman. All agree on one thing: to encounter the Jersey Devil is to face a primal terror. The legend's roots plunge deep into the soil of New Jersey, back to its earliest colonial days. The most pervasive origin story centers on a woman known as Mother Leeds, a figure shrouded in folklore herself. As the tale goes, in the year 1735, Mother Leeds was burdened with her impending 13th child. Overwhelmed and allegedly inebriated, she cried out in frustration, declaring this child would be the devil. On a stormy night, amidst labor pains and dark omens, a normal child was reportedly born. But then the story takes a horrifying turn. Witnesses claimed the infant transformed. It sprouted wings, its features twisted into something demonic, and with a shriek, it flew up the chimney and into the surrounding wilderness. Whether this tale is literal or metaphorical, it cemented the Jersey Devil's birth in the Pine Barrens, inextricably linking it to the region's identity. While the Mother Leeds story provides a dramatic origin, documented sightings of a strange creature predate even 1735. Folklore suggests encounters as far back as the early 18th century. But it was in the 20th century, specifically in the year 1909, that the Jersey Devil legend exploded into national consciousness. For 1 week in January, panic gripped the Delaware Valley. Hundreds, perhaps thousands, claimed to have seen the creature. Newspapers from Philadelphia to New York City ran sensational headlines. Schools were closed, businesses shuttered, and everyday life was disrupted by a wave of fear and fascination. Trolley cars were reportedly attacked. Footprints unlike any known animal were discovered in the snow, and a pervasive sense of dread settled over the region. This was not just a local legend anymore. The Jersey Devil had seemingly broken into the modern world. The 1909 flap is perhaps the most intensely documented period of Jersey Devil encounters. Newspaper accounts detail sightings in towns across New Jersey and even into neighboring states. In Haddon Heights, New Jersey, a married couple swore they saw the creature flying over their home, describing it as having glowing eyes and a long neck. In Camden, firemen reported seeing a winged beast perched on a trolley wire and then watched it fly away with a piercing cry. Postal workers, businessmen, police officers, credible witnesses from all walks of life added their accounts to the growing chorus. The sheer volume of reports from this period is staggering, presenting a compelling, if unsettling, historical record. But the sightings didn't end in 1909. Throughout the 20th and into the 21st century, encounters with the Jersey Devil have continued to be reported. Locals, hunters, hikers, and even law enforcement officials claim to have glimpsed something unidentifiable in the Pine Barrens. These modern accounts often mirror the historical descriptions. A large, winged creature, often emitting strange cries and leaving behind a sense of unease and fear. While specific details may vary, the core elements of the Jersey Devil legend remain remarkably consistent across time and testimony. Beyond eyewitness testimony, purported physical evidence has surfaced over the years. Unusual footprints, too large or strangely shaped to belong to known animals, have been reported near alleged sighting locations. Livestock attacks, attributed to the Jersey Devil, speak of claw marks and unusual patterns of predation. Even photographic and video evidence, though often blurry and inconclusive, occasionally emerges, fueling speculation. However, the crucial question remains: has any of this physical evidence stood up to rigorous scientific scrutiny? Skeptics are quick to point out the lack of verifiable scientific proof. Footprints are often dismissed as misidentification, hoaxes, or simply degraded tracks of common animals. Livestock attacks can be attributed to known predators like coyotes, dogs, or even birds of prey, embellished by local lore. Photographs and videos are invariably grainy, taken at night or from a distance, leaving room for misinterpretation and pareidolia, the human tendency to see patterns and familiar shapes in random stimuli. Despite decades of searching, no definitive Jersey Devil remains, no bones, no tissue samples, no irrefutable DNA evidence has ever been presented to the scientific community. Furthermore, skepticism extends to the very origins of the legend. Some historians suggest the Jersey Devil was deliberately propagated as a political smear. The Leeds family, central to the most popular origin story, were politically opposed to Benjamin Franklin. It's theorized that Franklin and his allies may have promoted the monstrous Leeds Devil myth to discredit their rivals in the eyes of the largely superstitious populace of the time. This theory paints the Jersey Devil not as a cryptid, but as a carefully crafted piece of early American political propaganda. Another compelling skeptical argument points to misidentification of known animals. The Pine Barrens are home to a diverse array of wildlife, including large birds like owls and sandhill cranes, which, seen in fleeting glimpses or under poor lighting conditions, could be mistaken for something more monstrous. Deer, with their sometimes awkward gait, or even feral dogs or pigs, might contribute to sightings, especially when fear and suggestion are at play. Could the Jersey Devil simply be a case of mistaken identity, a monstrous myth built upon the foundations of natural, if sometimes startling, wildlife encounters? The power of suggestion and mass hysteria cannot be discounted either. The 1909 panic, for example, could be seen as a classic case of mass delusion, fueled by sensationalized newspaper reports and rapidly spreading fear. Once the idea of the Jersey Devil was unleashed into the public consciousness, each ambiguous sight, each strange sound, could be readily interpreted as further confirmation of the creature's existence. Folklore has a way of snowballing, of amplifying anxieties and blurring the lines between reality and imagination. The Jersey Devil legend, therefore, may be as much a product of human psychology as it is of any actual creature in the woods. Regardless of its factual basis, the Jersey Devil has undeniably left an indelible mark on the culture of New Jersey. It's become a significant part of the state's identity, embraced and commercialized in various ways. Local tourism benefits from the legend, with Jersey Devil-themed tours, festivals, and merchandise drawing visitors to the Pine Barrens. Restaurants and businesses proudly incorporate the creature into their branding, leveraging its mystique and notoriety. The Jersey Devil has also transcended local folklore to become a fixture in popular culture. Movies, books, television shows, and video games have all drawn inspiration from the legend, depicting the creature in countless terrifying iterations. From low-budget horror films to mainstream thrillers, the Jersey Devil continues to capture the imaginations of storytellers and audiences alike, solidifying its place in the pantheon of modern monsters. Perhaps the most visible example of the Jersey Devil's cultural impact is the New Jersey Devils National Hockey League team. Choosing devils as their mascot and incorporating horns and devilish imagery into their branding, the team embraced the local legend, transforming a figure of fear into a symbol of state pride and athletic prowess. This rebranding, in a way, reflects the complex relationship New Jerseyans have with the Jersey Devil, a mixture of fear, fascination, and perhaps a touch of mischievous affection. So where does the truth lie? Is the Jersey Devil a flesh and blood creature, a unique and undiscovered species lurking in the shadows of the Pine Barrens? Or is it merely a tapestry woven from folklore, misidentification, mass hysteria, and clever political maneuvering? The evidence, or lack thereof, is ambiguous. Skeptical arguments are logical, grounded in science and reason. Yet the sheer persistence of the legend, the centuries of eyewitness accounts, the enduring sense of unease that pervades the Pine Barrens, these elements are harder to dismiss entirely. If the Jersey Devil is simply a myth, a figment of collective imagination, why has it endured for so long? Why do credible people, even today, report seeing something unexplainable? Perhaps the answer is not a simple yes or no. Perhaps the Jersey Devil exists not as a singular, tangible entity, but as something more elusive, a manifestation of the wildness of the Pine Barrens itself, a symbol of the unknown that still lingers at the edges of our civilized world, a reminder that some mysteries, perhaps, are destined to remain unsolved, lurking just beyond the reach of our understanding. And in the rustling leaves, the shadowy woods, and the whispers on the wind, the legend of the Jersey Devil lives on.